Happy Boxing Day, and I hope that you're having the best holiday ever. And I hope that you're also thinking about you, protecting, respecting, and honoring you through this party eating fest. Okay, because at the end of it, there's going to be a lot of sick people.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're going to be sick because not being able to digest their emotions or the food that they took in, okay? Because they're going to be overloaded. And, I just love this part. And guess what? And then you're going to find the powers to be out there talking about the latest, greatest virus that's going to take us down in about 2 to 3 weeks. That's in us all. And that's really actually your party down, eat yourself, drink yourself, and emotionally attack yourself throughout the Christmas and New Year. So now you've got to get sick and allow it to come out, all that stuff that you couldn't process and all that putrefaction emotionally and physically has got to come out your ears, your nose, your eyes, your mouth, your rectum, or your, some other orifice, or out through your pores. Oh God, I smell. Whoa, dude. Yeah, well you smell because you're rotten to the core. So today's one-a-day is, why become number one at the art of number two? And we're going to talk about that in a minute, but you've been here for almost 14 days.
That's right. Yep.
And usually I will do like a real bull session. Like, let me tell you something. I will give a money back guarantee to anyone. If you've been going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist for the last 10, 20, 30 years, spend a 2-hour session with me on Skype, WhatsApp, okay, or on the phone, or here in person, and I will give you 20, 30 years of emotional help in 2 hours. Did you hear what I said? Now, the reality is, I went over there today and I said, so how are you doing? And what did you say? Well, you said I'm kind of what?
Kind of low energy today. Woke up low energy.
Up and down, up and down.
Up and down.
Well, that's what happens when you're trying to change your personality. Your subconscious does not like you changing your personality. And if you want to change your reality, you better change your personality and stop going around, well, this is who I am. This is who I am. Yeah, right. That's not who you are. Why would anybody want to be like that? And I hear that all the time. People will try to protect their dysfunctional belief systems because you're not you.
Right.
And understand something. Only 1 out of 10,000 people are their authentic self. What did I tell you in there? That I've never met a parent that wasn't adulterated and has not adulterated their children.
Yes, you did.
That's right. And that's the big family curse out there that nobody speaks about. But the reality is, as I said to you, we never did our deep sessions, did I?
That's right.
And you said, yeah. What did you say? I was what? You were.
I said, in so many words, I was fearful. That was the last thing I wanted to do.
You didn't want to meet with me on a one-to-one basis.
No, I didn't.
And you've been here for 2 weeks, and you didn't want to meet with me yet, right? And understand something. He doesn't want to because he bears so much guilt and so much shame that even if we brought up the dysfunctional beliefs that aren't even real, you don't even own them, you don't even deserve them, but your subconscious says, do not talk to Daryl, because if you talk to Daryl, what he's going to talk about, it could kill us.
Yeah.
Well, it could kill your subconscious, which your subconscious needs to die.
Yeah.
And to be reborn. It would never kill you. It would set your heart free and it would raise your spirit up.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody can live under all this BS, okay, and think it's fun. So I went in there and we talked for 10 minutes and in 10 minutes, did I tell you your story?
Unbelievably.
10 minutes. I said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you where we're going to go. And I said, in 10 minutes, I'm going to show you where your life went sideways. Where did it go sideways? How old were you?
3 years old.
3 years old. It went sideways. And why did it go sideways?
Because I was jealous. I was jealous of my brother, my younger brother and sister.
That's right. Because you were the oldest. And now at 3 years old, you are being asked to get the diapers, help the wiping, help feed your brother, help do this, help do that, because you could walk and you could start to talk.
Yeah.
Right. And you didn't like that being taken away. And his father, who's 90 years old, is sitting beside him this morning, and I go to his father, I go, so you had your brother that was born after you a year and a half. Then a year and a half after that, you had your sister. I said, was it a sister? And he goes, yes. I didn't know it was a sister. I said, but I think it was a sister. And then I said to the father this morning, and guess what? You loved the girl more than you loved your two boys, didn't you? And he went, yeah. And I go, there. That was the clinch for him. He couldn't take it. So then you distance yourself from your sister because she got more attention from your father all your life, didn't you? Except the last 3 years she was alive because she was sick.
True.
So because she's sick, you allowed yourself to give her some love.
That's right. That's right.
So look at the hate you had for your sister. Because you can't get angry at your father because he could swat you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
But you could be angry at your sister and close your heart off to her. And then what could you do? Well, you couldn't touch her. She's too tiny because your dad would have swatted you.
Oh, yeah.
But you could bully your brother.
Yeah.
So then you bullied your brother. So now, why are you here in this clinic? Because at 3 years old, you had a tantrum and it hasn't stopped. Now, are you consciously doing that tantrum? Are you consciously doing it? No. You're subconsciously running a program, and here's the deal. When I said to you, when you were younger, with your brother and sister and your family, you would go and tell mommy and daddy you were sick to get attention because you weren't getting attention anymore. And what did you say?
When I asked him or told him I was sick?
No, I told you that. I said when you were younger, a lot of times you would make yourself sick so you could get extra attention.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See,
yeah.
Now, you know what? I can figure anybody out. And it's not because I'm being cocky here. It's because once you work totally from your heart and you fill your own heart up with love, you allow yourself to make any mistake in the world and fall down. And you don't need other people's approval to be wrong. So I will always tell what's in my heart and how I feel because I don't care what you think.
Right.
I mean, when I say I don't care what you think, I care. I have cared for you, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
So when I say I don't care what he thinks, I don't care what his subconscious thinks.
Right.
I will protect his heart when we talk. I could care what his subconscious thinks because his subconscious is what's made him. How old are you?
58.
Yeah, well, you've been sick since you were 3.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, you have to have a sick mind before a sick body. So now I told David that when he goes home, we'll do a Skype, me and his father and him for 2 hours, and we'll those Band-Aids are gone.
Yeah.
And then we'll meet me and him 1 hour a week later, and then 1 hour a week later, and his life will be all his. Now, you think that's cocky of me? Well, no, it's not. Because there's a genius inside of you, and the thing is that there's been some really stupid programs that have been put inside of you. Okay, just keep it going. There's been some really dumb programs. They don't work right, and they've been put inside of you. So even though you've made yourself sick, and look at this, you wanted your dad's attention back then because he was giving it to your sister.
Yeah.
So now guess what? He actually has his 90-year-old father spending money and following him all over the world to get him well, because his father has guilt for showing more love to the daughter. Meanwhile, the father said, I never realized that, because he never realized it until today. Meanwhile, she's not even alive anymore, and all this went down. And he's going, oh my God, I did. I gave her more attention and more love. And he goes, I didn't even realize I did that. So you see, we all perceive things differently. What did I tell you to do with your brother? What did I tell you to do this morning?
He told me to give my brother a call.
How'd that go? He called him right away, and I said, go tell your brother that you know that you bullied him, and then at least open it up. And what'd your brother say?
He was surprisingly he was understanding, and he identified the issues that he and I had, and he also said we could focus on the positive because we had a great relationship too.
That's right. But see, if I would have asked you if there was something between you and your brother when you first came here, you'd say no. Yeah. Because your subconscious is going to lie, cry, and justify to protect the bullshit that's killing you, that's keeping the cancer, that's keeping the constipation, That's keeping the skin disorder. That's causing your cataracts. That's causing your brain tumor. Should I keep going? You know, so I'm writing a book, a booklet. Well, it's pretty thick, and I've been working on it for 2 years, and it's all about how the brain becomes inflamed before any part of the other body does, and it's the most in-depth study that was ever done. But we'll get back to that later. So the reality is here is that you're so close now. You're so close that, you know, you made up a story and it almost killed you.
Yep.
Now we're going to go back and rewrite the story because you're okay. So was your sister the villain?
No.
Was she the one that screwed your life up?
No.
Was your brother the villain?
No.
Was your dad?
No.
Okay, so now all we got to do is understand that we just have to go in and renovate in your subconscious and make the beliefs in there, strong beliefs. Go back. Now you can remember in the 12 loving steps? Okay? Mind mapping?
Yes.
So, so are you going to go in? Are you going to go and do mind mapping one night?
Oh, absolutely.
And go in and do that for about 8 hours and go back to the first and rewrite the whole story up until now the way it should be?
Yes. Yes.
Because everyone that was in your family was full of love and they were dysfunctional because of adulteration. It's because the only really sucker punch that we truly get when it comes to family is our parents are adulterated and they're really messed up. The only thing that's not messed up is the baby. And once you start to walk and talk, you start acting like mommy and daddy, and now you're messed up.
Right.
You
Right.
see?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I do.
Okay, well, that's the game down here. Now, the problem is that the media and the systems and all the corporations out there, they understand the game and you don't. And that's why, you know what? That's why you're just their pawn.
Right.
Okay, all right.
I see.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the story the way it should be. And that means that everybody gets the white hat, not the black hat. Where everyone's a good guy. Okay? It's just the way that you perceive things. And that's why you never hate corporations. You don't hate different systems. You just don't. You can have a great life by just minding your own business.
Right.
Mind your own business.
Right.
Okay, so now what would you like to say about all that?
It's probably the hardest thing that I've had to sort of challenge myself with. What we talked about this morning.
What was the hardest thing?
Just identifying and understanding and trying to reason through why I have done.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay. In 5 years, the suicide rate has doubled. And the suicide rate has doubled because people are so adulterated with their beliefs. And people are actually killing themselves by making up a story that justifies why they should end their life. And let me tell you something. If I could get my hands on any of those people just for an hour.
Yeah.
Because we are not taught that our thoughts aren't ours.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, you were created by God Almighty, which, you know, there are hundreds and trillions of galaxies out there.
Right.
You know, and there are probably thousands of different species on different planets, and that which created the whole universe, you know what, has never ever judged us.
Right.
But we've been taught to judge ourselves the minute we could walk and talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, you know, it's all going to come down to you believing that you have an entity in you that's not you. So you have an entity in you. So every belief, if you feed it long enough and strong enough, it'll either eat you or treat you nice.
Right.
It'll treat you and heal you,
right.
or it'll eat you up. Cancer, autoimmune disease, all of these are sick minds creating sick bodies. When I say somebody has a sick mind out there, I'm not saying you're sick. I'm saying that you have thoughts that are corrupted, that were never yours,
right.
but you know you were forced to take them in and you couldn't digest them. So now they're digesting you.
Me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So long as you get that. So today's one a day was why you want to become number one at the art of number two. And let me tell you something. If you take a look at people that can't poo or pee anymore, they're dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that.
So everyone who's starting to die, they can't poo and pee properly. So the elderly, if you take a look at the way they're treated, they get lots of drugs and lots of salt and lots of chemicals in their food because a lot of them end up in nursing homes or they don't have enough money to eat or they're just, you know, They don't eat properly. And you have to understand this, that, the more constipated one becomes, the more miserable and the more they shorten their lifespan. Okay? Because you may not realize this, but what I did was I went out 3 nights in a row and I ate what I thought were pretty good meals. They weren't really great. But my body's so sensitive now that, the last 4 days I haven't had proper bowel movements. And then this morning I had 6 bowel movements. I'm not trying to gross anybody out. So what I did was the last 2 days, I doubled up on my tea and I took 3 curcumin cayenne 3 times a day. So now I'm back to, I really and it wasn't diarrhea. So understand that. I don't get diarrhea. Diarrhea is from people that are really constipated because they're in a healing crisis. But understand something. You can't have any disease in the human body unless you have a bowel problem. And understand something. You would never have an ovarian problem or a prostate problem or a fallopian tube problem or a uterus problem or a bladder problem if you didn't have a bowel problem before. Right? And you'll never have breast cancer unless you have an ovarian problem, which means your ovaries and uterus are already in trouble before you have a breast problem. And your bowel's been in trouble for years before you had the ovarian uterus or the prostate problem. Right. And understand something, with every bladder infection, you are leaking waste into your body from your bowel. Now, the bowel is the holy grail of healing. And people aren't going to get this. You have been so dumbed down. You have no idea. The most important thing to do is do tummy love. Check it out. Do the black gold. Get curcumin cayenne 5000 and the daily cleansing tea. And then embrace that for a while. Those 4 things, those 4 pillars. And you're going to feel like, wow, like so amazing. And then you never give them up. Here's the thing too. There's going to be how many people sick? 70% of the population is going to have a flu or a cold, and within 2 weeks from now, because they've filled them up with so much emotional and physical toxins that they're going to have to vomit them out, poop them out, or mucus coming out, cry them out, because you're going to have a lot of people going into depression by February because they've ran themselves down so much. Right. Yeah, alcohol, coffee, they overdid everything. Right? And you'll always overdo everything when you're what? Not enough. Yeah. When you're not enough, you overdo stuff. Right. Well, I am enough, so I don't need to overdo anything. Right. Right? Right. Yeah. So, you want to become number 1 at the art of number 2. And if you look at the medical system, they try to take away the importance of the large intestine. They attack it with antibiotics, chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. Mm-hmm. And understand something. Surgery creates more scar tissue than anything else. And understand something. I have a guarantee that whatever you're sick of, there are very few people that we don't get well. And that is, you can take that as, wow, I want him on my team. Because it's not, you've been here long enough, right? Yeah. You've been here long enough to see people come in and go. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody that you see come in here and you've talked to, what are we doing with them? Oh, you're transforming their life. Yeah, so understand something. I do have the keys to set you free, okay? And this is something that you should be going, yeah, that's amazing. And then checking it out, because we will offer you a money-back guarantee on the first treatment you ever have, that you have never experienced anything like this. I will offer you a money-back guarantee on all my consultations, my emotional ones. And understand, there's not one person out there that is not emotionally screwed up, okay? Unless you've done the work, right. And if you have any type of a physical problem, then you're screwed up emotionally. Yeah, any type of a problem, you're screwed up emotionally. Yep. So, I can always come back to, even the last 3 days, when my bowels were kind of messed up, I was holding on to some stuff family-wise, right? Yeah. So you can say, well, yeah, I did go out and I was off my diet, but the reality is you should be bigger than that. Your vibration should be bigger that you're doing, right? Right. So, you have to always check in with yourself. In this world, you're going to find that the biggest test you're ever going to have is truly, totally honoring, respecting, and totally loving yourself. Because as soon as you don't, it's game on out there. Mm-hmm. If you were to take a look at all the major systems, if a person totally, truly honors, loves, and respects and protects himself, that person would crumble all the major systems that people use out there in one day. So if we were to get everyone to do that, what wouldn't they need?
They wouldn't need any other.
They would. Well, you wouldn't be going. You wouldn't be going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because the hospital, the only thing that's there is beautiful hearts from nurses, you know. But it's still the sickest. It's the sickest building in North America, right? Doctors are the leading cause of death in North America. Mm-hmm. And when a hospital closes down, the death rate drops. So, you know, really, guys, you know, and we're all drug addicts. So if you're part of the medical system, then you're a drug addict. Mm-hmm. But I'm a drug addict because, you know, just even the chemtrails, they're in all organic foods.
Yeah.
So there's chemicals, but the thing is your body, your skin is a detoxification organ.
Yeah.
Your lungs are a detoxification organ. Your kidneys are a detoxification organ. Your bowel is, your bladder is, okay? Your liver is, your lymph system. So we're one walking, talking detoxification, and you can't get your shit together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to know that when you can't get your, you know what I say. So when you can't get that together and it's falling apart, because you're falling apart. Do you understand? Because you're emotionally falling apart. That's why you can't get it together. That's why all the great minds that are in hospitals and all the great products I sell are going to help on a physical level. But until you emotionally take a look at your childhood, you know, because what did the Jesuits say? And I don't care for that group of people, but what do they say? Give me a child until the age of 7 and we will own him for life. Well, what did the church try to do? Right?
Same thing.
Yeah. Between the Jesuits and the Catholic Church, you need to do your homework. So that's all I'm going to say. You know, but if you're getting from some system, they're empowering you, or some group, they're empowering you. That's great. But are they empowering you? You make sure that their beliefs are really, truly empowering you and setting yourself free. You know, I'm free of all guilt. Are you free of all guilt? Or you're not free of all guilt yet?
No.
Your dad's not free of guilt.
No.
Yeah.
But we will be.
I know that, you know, and he's guilty for loving your sister.
Yeah.
But he's not guilty for loving her more. No. Boys are boys and girls are girls.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to understand, he didn't love her more. He just loved her differently. Right. Yeah. So here's the deal. We need to really take a look, and we need to go back and rewrite the story. Go check out the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. Has that helped you?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Without it, I would be lost.
Yeah, I know. Well, guess what? We're all lost until we find ourselves. You're just starting to find yourself.
Yeah.
When you were 3, you gave yourself away. How old are you today?
58.
So 58. So 55 years you've been shackled. And you're all shackled still. There might be 1 out of 10,000 people watching this, because that's the highest the rate is. There's only 1 out of 10,000 people that ever truly set themselves free on this earth game. And I can prove that to anyone. If you want to even challenge me on my Q&As, you know, on Fridays, you know, you go ahead and challenge me. But the reality is, you'll be very lucky to find one person in your family that has set themselves free.
Yeah.
Okay? You'll get some people in your family that are acting more confident.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't put on an act.
No, you don't.
Yeah. And I don't care what the world thinks of me, because I love myself. And by totally loving, honoring, respecting myself, have I disrespected you?
No, you haven't.
But I've gotten to your crap, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Right.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but see, I was honoring you by going into your crap, because my intentions were only for you to totally find your authentic self, because that's the only way you'll ever be free.
Right.
And that's why sometimes you go, you know what? I think I really felt like God was with me, or I felt God talk to me, or I felt some kind of a feeling. I felt so spiritually high for just even a couple minutes. Well, you can have that all the time if you want. You know, you're given glimpses of what you are until you want to do the work. Are you ready to do the work?
Yeah.
Are you ready to give up all your fears? I absolutely have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. Now, even if I have a little fear, I'm going to say I have no fear.
Right.
Because I'm going to keep on working towards that. Now, not having fear does not mean I'm going to jump off a cliff.
Right.
It does not mean I'm going to disrespect my body or do stupid things. Right? That's
Right.
not what having no fear is.
Right.
You know, I am having no fear because I totally believe in that created the whole universe, that has always loved me, and that the universe is continually growing and I will continually grow for eternity.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah.
but you get all messed up over this stuff. And
Yeah.
I get all messed up over this stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something right now. Those of you who are young right now and thinking of having children, don't do it until you find yourself totally loved and honored, respect yourself. Because you're just going to mess your kids up and you're going to have all that work, you know. And you think you love yourself? That's really something, isn't it? You know, everybody before they comes here to do a personal treatment and training thinks they've got it together. And the ones that really think they've got it together, wow. Wow. That's all I'm going to say. So look, I'm going to tell you something. So the deal is, we do have Boxing Day sale on, and it's not a pitch, but if you want, like any of our products, you might want to jump online and take a look. It's the biggest sale of the year. Even our Wi-Fi's are like 40% off. And check out our pennants. They're on sale. I think everything's basically on sale. So have the best shop day of your life and buy something that, you know, is going to improve your life today.
Yeah.
That's going to improve your life. And remember something, when you become number one at the art of number two, then you will not be holding on to the SHIT that has been messing up your life for 55 years. God bless everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Daryl.
You're welcome.